Please pardon any peeping sounds. My class incubated silky eggs again this year, so I have the chicks in my art room as they grow out of the brooder. Today's art tutorial is a level 2. To create our Halloween cat, you will need a piece of blank paper, an eraser, a pencil, and a Sharpie or another black permanent marker. You might also want some materials to color with. Today I'm going to be using my Ohuhu art markers. Most beginning artists will want to start with a pencil to sketch out your lines first, and then you can always go back over them with your permanent marker. I'm going to go ahead and start with my permanent marker and just go ahead and skip the pencil. Don't feel like every single line has to be perfect. The whole purpose of art is to practice. You cannot get better without practicing first. As I just taught my 3rd graders in science, being artistic is a learned trait. Just like any sport, you have to learn how to play the game. In the same way, you have to learn how to create artwork. We're going to begin this piece by drawing the pumpkin that the cat is going to be popping out of. So I'm going to start with jagged lines down towards the bottom of my paper. You can make as many jagged lines as you want, however big you'd like your pumpkin to be. You want to make sure that on both ends the lines are going up so that we can connect the pumpkin at the bottom. It kind of looks like a little mountain range. Next up, we're going to make some curved lines on the side. This is going to be our actual pumpkin, so you can make it as wide as you want. Next, we're going to close off our pumpkin with little bumps on the bottom. So go ahead and add however many bumps you like. I'm going to add about 4 bumps, connecting my lines, making sure it's very round and smooth. Now, if you look at a pumpkin, pumpkins have little ridges. We're going to make those ridges right where our bumps are. So when you see your bump coming into a point, you're going to draw a curved line up to the top. You can see this curved line is going out. This line in the middle is just going to be straight up. And this line is going to curve out the other way. It makes our pumpkin look more three-dimensional. Now it's time to add the black cat that's poking out the top. We're going to start with the cat's nose, so I'm going to go up quite a ways from the pumpkin, and I'm going to draw an upside down triangle shape for my cat's nose. Next up, I'm going to add the little cat's muzzle. So I'm going to make a round circle shape to one side, connecting it at the bottom of my triangle and the top side of my triangle. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, trying to get them about the same size. I'm going to make my kitten with his mouth open, so kind of in the middle of his muzzle, I'm going to draw a U shape. That'll be the open part of his mouth. I'm also going to add another U underneath, so it looks like he has his mouth open. For added detail, I'm going to put 3 little spots on his muzzle like this. You can also add a little tongue if you want to. Now that we kind of know where our kitten's face is going to be, we're actually going to go up and draw the top part of the pumpkin, because the top part of the pumpkin is going to be sitting on his head. So up at the top, so a little bit above the muzzle, leave enough room for the eyes. I'm going to add more jagged lines. This time the lines are going to be pointing down. Again, you can make it as wide as you want to. I'm making it just a little bit smaller to where it looks like just the top part of my pumpkin. We're going to make small curved lines up and then add our bumps on the top. I'm going to do the same number of bumps that I did on the bottom, so I'm going to do 4 little bumps. They don't have to be perfect, and they don't have to match the bottom perfectly. Now I can add the ridges. So on the outside, I'm going to curve it out. I'm going to go ahead and curve this one. That one curves out, and that one curves out. Go ahead and give the pumpkin a stem. You can make it look curvy and cute. I'm just going to do a generic stem. And I also added some little lines for texture and detail. Now to finish off our kitten's face. So right underneath the muzzle, I'm going to draw a straight line. This is going to be the bottom part of his head. And I'm going to add 3 little bumps on each side so he looks fluffy. After you have the fluffy cheeks, you can go ahead and connect his head to the pumpkin. Let's go ahead and add the cat's eyes. So I'm going to draw a line out from the side of the muzzle and then make a U shape on top, an upside down U shape. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, so go a little ways out, upside down U, trying to get them about the same size. Of course, they don't have to be perfect. I'm going to add a little circle inside for the cat's highlight, so that little white light that reflects on your eyes. You go ahead and color in the pupil completely black. The bigger you make the eyes, the cuter he is. We're going to add some triangle ears sticking out from the side. You can even add a little bit of fluff at the top if you want to. Same thing on the other side. And then add another little triangle inside of that one. Gonna have a little bit of overlapping here. We're gonna go ahead and draw the cat's body. So down from his head, I'm gonna draw the sides of his body, just straight down to the pumpkin. You can make them as wide or as thin as you'd like. And then for his arms, I'm gonna do 2 more lines on each side. You can even add little folds to make his armpits a little bit chunky, which I think is cute. If you've ever seen Garfield, I learned how to draw those little lines there because Garfield always had them. We're also going to make his little tail sticking out, so what I do is I draw an S, a very flat S, and then I put a curve at the end, make sure it's nice and thick, and then follow my curved line. If you guys want this to really look like a cat, we have to add some whiskers, so I'm going to add 3 little curved whiskers. They look like little frowny faces coming off from the sides. Again, you can make them as long or as short as you'd like. You guys can stop here, but of course I love to add even more detail. So up in the corner, I'm going to add a little ghost, so I'm going to draw an upside down U shape. And then I'm going to give it a curvy tail that ends in a point. You can give the ghost a little oval mouth and a little oval eyes and color those in black. And you can even give the pumpkin a face. A really easy pumpkin face that I know how to do is to add 2 triangles for the eyes, another triangle for the nose, and of course color those in black. And whatever kind of mouth you want. I'm going to give him the traditional kind of pumpkin grin. So I make a little line, I give him a tooth, back across, give him another little tooth on the bottom, and then close it. That takes a little bit of practice. I'm going to go ahead and color it in. You can add whatever else you guys want to it. You can add a little trick-or-treat bag or some candy. I'm going to add a little shadow underneath my pumpkin so it doesn't look like it's just floating in midair. Finally, add whatever color you want to the piece. Pro tip, if you are coloring in your black cat, you might want to use a dark gray color instead so you don't lose all of the details that you added. You can always add a little bit of black shading with a crown or colored pencil afterwards to give it a darker effect. I can't decide what color I want his nose to be, if I want it to be black or pink or make it like purple. I think I'll go with the pink to tie it into the ears. I also want to give him some yellowish green colored eyes. I'm going to leave the highlight white. Lastly, I'm going to add a touch of shading to everything. And there you have it, guys. That is how to draw a Halloween kitty. I have more fun art tutorials, including a few very spooky Halloween ones coming up. So make sure you guys are subscribed if you aren't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I'll see y'all in my next video. God bless. Bye.